Hey, wonderful traders. Today I'm here with weekly recap for the week of December the 25th. And I've mentioned in my feed that I've made several trades this week. I over traded this week. So obviously, I'm not going to cover every single trade that I've taken just because I think it would just take too much time. And I don't want you to be watching a video of like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, right? I'd rather make short videos where you learn something, and I also able to go through my own trades and try to avoid mistakes that I've made this week and do better the following week. So, anyways, so I've chosen four trades that I've taken this week that I feel like will be valuable to anyone that watches this. So therefore, I made this video. So let's get right to it. So the first stock we're going to talk about is WATT. It's a stock that I shorted on the 28th. So if you look at the stock, you can see the previous day it ran from 450 all the way to 950. So it went crazy. And then it came back down and closed at 750. And so the following day it gapped down and I think it closed at like 704 or whatever. And on the following day, it gapped down. So in the morning, as it was making this push, I started shorting at 690 area because it is weak and it's opening up weak. And but when it went green, I actually covered. So I covered it for a loss. So you can see here better. So I shorted right here on this candle, and when it went green, I kind of got scared, mainly because of this. So in the morning, right after the open, it just went down to like 665 or whatever, and then comes back up. And if it would have retested this area, I would have been a little more comfortable. The fact that it kind of didn't even get anywhere close to, there's like 10 cents difference here between this low and this morning low. So, and then as it was breaking past this level, it looked like, oh, it's going to keep making new highs, right? At least that's what I was seeing in the moment, and and lost the bigger picture because the stock went crazy yesterday. So there's a lot of bag holders on the stock. So every pop is going to be a selling opportunity. So, anyways, I kind of lost the big picture, and I saw this low, and this low was a higher low, and it's making a higher high. So I just cut my loss right here. So and no issues with that, right? So I just got out, and then when I saw this go red again, and the part of the reason I actually got in here instead of here is because I actually played a long position here, with the same idea. Okay, so it went green, but I had to cut loss. I lost quite a bit on the long position. I think I got in like 710, got out at 690. So I lost, 20 cents there. So, anyways, I shorted again at 680 area, and then stayed patient, and then it took down this low. My plan was to actually cover only half in right here, but instead, my fat finger mistake, I covered them all, and so it's still a profit, right? Nothing to complain about. And then I re-shorted here. This is a trade that could have been avoided just because I'm far from the my risk area, so I kind of like was not comfortable every time the stock was like popping, So every time it was popping, I was not comfortable. So anyway, so I sold half in here, Um, at 6:35, I believe I sold near the low of the day, and then I sold the rest on this pop right here, just because I thought it could, squeeze me and go past this area, and I would rather short higher closer to my risk area than shorting in this place. So, anyways, those were my trades with what, and there was a loss too on it, which I'm not talking about, but that's basically like a quick loss, right? So I got in here, got out on this candle right here, um, and then so I traded this VTVT, big mistake. My thesis was right, but just because it's the first green day and the stock is still very strong, and I am usually like really bad at shorting those, even on the backside of the move, because I simply don't know if the stock is going to squeeze me. So I'm just going to work on it and make sure I'm not shorting on the first day, when the stock is green, and like everybody is excited about it, so people are keep buying the dips, right? So I actually made some money on it. It's just that I was not comfortable at all with this trade. So, I mean, you can see my entry and exits, and I have pretty much written down my entry and exits. So, I mean, it's a stock that was up on no news. So, like tomorrow, when if this stock opens up red, then I would be playing like the way I did what. So tomorrow would be my kind of play for this stock. But on this day, the first day where it was spiking like 200%, um, I'm never going to be comfortable shorting that kind of stock. I mean, there might be some people that make 50, 60% on it while it's crashing down, right? Or they understand the backside of this move. In my case, I think I'm better off because more time than not, even when I take profit, I take them really fast on the day it's spiking crazy. So it's better for me to let it go and then short it day two or day three or day four of the move. So, anyways, and then plug. Oh yeah, so this was a long play. Let me pull up the chart for plug. Okay, so this stock, I think they had some kind of a catalyst for for this to spike. Yeah, okay. So basically, the stock was on January 9th, they're going to do a business update or something. I don't really know why it was spiking. That could be the reason, um, because January 9th is still far away. So this is happening on the 26th. And I was excited because it held its gains. So I got in at this support area. So you can see one, two, three, four. This is the fourth time it's dipping, and this time around it broke this area, and then so I thought it had leg to actually open up higher the following day. So I bought in on this dip at 124, and I got out the next day pre-market. I actually slept in, so otherwise I would have definitely sold it at like 139 area. I wouldn't have kept it all the way to 149. It went, I think. I wouldn't have kept it all the way there, but I would have taken my 10% and be happy with it. But instead, I slept in, and then when I woke up, so I put in a sell order at 137, I believe, or 138, I believe, and then I only got like 50 shares uh, there, and then started to come down. I'm always freaked out when these stocks take out the wherever the previous support was on the pre-market, even though there is like literally no volume. I just I just freak out. So that's just the way I am. Yeah. So I just sold at 134, still a profit. Um, the only reason I went long on it is because it held its gains, and plus the market was bouncing on this day. So there was pretty much a good for the market to bounce the following day, at least in the morning. So I was expecting this to spike pre-market or spike right out of the open. So you can see it did spike, and this would have been a kind of a hard place for me to get out. So this was a perfect place for me to get out, even though I could have made more money, but um, in my mind I was thinking, oh, it could very well just go plunge, because there is not a real catalyst here that we're playing with. So that was that stock. That was a long play. And then here's the last one I wanted to cover on this video is UXIN. On the 26th, I shorted this stock. This stock has been going crazy, right, the last few weeks. And actually, the last few days would have been very good short opportunity, but I missed it. So I'm not going to chase down a stock that's already been down 20-30% and chase down and short it and expecting it to go another 20-30%. Because remember, the way that I trade, if the stock goes down 20-30%, I'm probably making 10 to 12% on that move. So if the stock is, if the stock is already down 20, 30, 40%, I'm not going to expect it to go anything more than 10%. Therefore, I probably would take my gain in like 4 or 5%. So it's not really a good risk reward for me. Therefore, I don't trade it when the stock is down so much on the short side. Same goes on the long side. If the stock is up so much, I'm not gonna trade it on the long side for the same reason, right? Because in my mind, I'm not going to expect it to keep going 20-30%, because that's where I make my 10%. So anyways, so on this day it was gapping down, and so I shorted um, right here. Let's see. So the stock was down 7%. So I'm shorting right here as it was making, as it was. So it made this low and then going back up. I'm shorting on this level here. But in this case, I was actually risking the pre-market high on this day. I mean, I should have kept the pre-market for this day. Maybe I can pull it up. So this was UXIN. So let's see on the 26th. Oh, come on. Okay, so on the 26th, you just have to, well, you just have to believe me. The pre-market, I mean, you can look at your chart, I guess. And the pre-market high was somewhere here, so I was risking the pre-market high. So when the stock went green here, I wasn't very, I wasn't freaking out. So I stayed patient. On this right here, I covered half, and then I was expecting this to, you know, make lower lows, and then I cover into the next dip. However, if you see, the stock went back and broke this level right here, this VWAP area, and it actually was holding it. And I at this point I was simply not comfortable, and I can't remember if the stock went down and made new lows on this day, but I was simply not comfortable anymore. The good thing about I think the good thing about trading is, maybe some of you probably going to disagree on this, but good thing about trading is that you can get out when you're in doubt, right? You don't have to stay uncomfortable and stick. And then if you keep losing, it's going to mess up your psychology a lot more. So it's better to just like either not take profit when you're not comfortable, just cut it, cut your profit, or just cut your loss, right? So in this case, I think right here I sold at break even. So I mean, I covered at break even. I made a little bit of money on this, but it's gonna happen, So I'm gonna either fake out. Sometimes it could just hold for a few minutes and then just plunge. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So in this case, it did make, it did hold and made this high. Had I not cut it here, I might have covered it on this high. So it's better I actually covered, here as it was holding this key level in the chart. So anyway, that's my video recap for the week of December the 25th. I hope you all had a good week, and I hope you learned something from it. And VTVT, similar thing. You can trade it if it gaps down. You can short into the spikes in the morning, and then cover into the dips. So that's what I would be looking to do. Good luck for the following week, and you all have a wonderful trading week. Bye bye.